That's the Philippines.
Everyone is trying to scam me.
Comments, I go there, go to the lobby and they're so sorry sir, we don't have booking.com. So what do you mean? It's a scam, sir. Bit of everything. We had multiple scams running. I gotta be honest, I don't even want to do this video. I don't want to do this type of stuff. People like do this for a career where it's just like clickbait, but for the sake of education, for the sake of you guys, we'll do it. So I've just come back from the Philippines and I got to see and experience things that I've never seen in my life. I went to a variety of different places and there was one constant no matter where I went. And it genuinely started from the get-go. No matter if I went to a tourist trap or local street vendors, markets, not so much in BGC, I'm gonna be honest. But there was an abundance of scams absolutely everywhere in Manila. Before we get into specifically scams in Manila, I gotta call out some Australian scams because when you're at the airport, I'm putting it down to the rent within the airport. The prices are astronomical. The price gouging is insane. You know those neck pillows people travel with? 2 for 120. What the fuck? Probably costs $1 to make. 45, 20 bucks, 2 for 30, like, wait till we get to the Philippines and we get one of them for like $1. $1. What in the world? 2 for 24. 3 for 33? Bruh. People getting finessed. That might be the new cheapest. I saw 2 for 120, then it was 2 for 100, now 2 for 79. The closer you get to leaving, the cheaper it gets. The one that I saw the craziest, or a couple of things I saw the craziest, but Tim Tams, 4 for $20, not 2 for $24 like they're saying here, but if I go to Woolies right now, they're like $2 and $3. How do you, 24? That's insane. The markup they're getting is insane, but it's a classic Australian snack that people associate with Australia, so people are going to want to buy it. The biggest scam is the neck pillow, and as you can see here in this video I'm about to show you, go to Kmart, bro. I think I could wear these. I don't know. This one feels the best. And I didn't buy the cheapest one. I bought like that luxury, like memory foam gel type joint for 16 bucks. 16 bucks. 2 for 120, 2 for 100, 2 for 79. The closer you got to your gate, the cheaper they got. It's probably the same company, right? So they're trying to get you no matter what. But go to Kmart. Same with the adapters. Just wait till you get there. I paid about, I want to say about $4 or $5 for mine. So much cheaper. I just went to like a little street vendor. Why not? I didn't get to film it. Unfortunately, all my batteries and everything were dead when I went for my first little trip around Binondo. Such a wild place. Right out of the gate, when you leave your plane, you start walking through immigration. Once you get through immigration, you are greeted by 1,000 people trying to give you a taxi. Granted, I don't think they're as pushy as certain places in Thailand or even certain places in Manila within the city. But they'll definitely push you. They'll definitely hit you up. And the prices went anywhere from 1,200 to 1,800. On Grab, it was about 600. So half the price, right? But the issue is it's so busy in this area, this one little area, the airport. It's so busy that it's... I'm all good, brother. Yeah, similar to Thailand, the taxis are a fucking scam, mate. So go the Grab, and it's a lot easier, a lot cheaper. People are like doing it from here. Can I just do it from my phone like normal or what? Let's try. So it's pretty busy. I've just looked at it. 6-seater, they're gonna pick me up. But it's just a standard car, 703 pesos, which is about 18 bucks, just over 18 bucks. I think I'm going a 48-minute drive, 18 bucks. That's a bargain. You're waiting forever. They've got the taxis ready there for you, so you're paying for essentially the service of it being there waiting for you to go, but you are paying double. Is it a scam? I don't know. Maybe it's a thing of convenience. But what would happen is you would accept a Grab and it would say it's like 5 minutes away, right? And then like it would be cancelled. This happened to me like 4 or 5 times. So it's way too busy for Grab. The taxis have gone from 1,200 to 15 to 17 to now 18. I said I won't pay any more than 1,000 because I know the price. You look all this shit up before you come. The thing with taxis is they can be a Grab driver as well. Same as in Thailand, you can get a Grab, but the guy pulls up in a taxi, right? It is the car, but they're operating on both at the same time. For me, it felt like, and I have heard people say this, I don't know this to be true. It seems like they're accepting all the Grabs, but then cancelling on them to make it seem like the cab is more appealing. There was a Grab hub there, but there was thousands of people, as you can see. But I came up with a better idea to get past all of this. There are a bunch of shops and just stuff across the road, so we might just go for a walk. Maybe it's easy to get a Grab or whatever outside of the airport, I would assume. These are all people waiting on Grabs, just standing around like everywhere. They're all just waiting on Grab. Literally across the road from the airport, it's now going to cost me 400 pesos. And if I want, I can add a 6-seater. We'll just add anything just so we get it done quicker, and that's still only 600. My driver is 6 minutes away, so this was the plan, bro. I'd still be fucking waiting over there in the masses with the airport. Why would you want to drive into that traffic? You can just be outside of it and get it. So that's your pro tip right there, ladies and gentlemen. Depending on the time of the day, if you want to take the taxi, it's not that much anyway. Like, it's a lot cheaper than in Australia for any sort of taxi, rideshare or anything like that. But you've got to know what the prices are. 400, 500, 600, that's a fair price. I was willing to pay 1,000 to the taxi, but they didn't want to do it. So at this point, I'm a very petty person. I'm very, very stubborn. So I just went across to this local type area, and I got to Grab no problem. I was thinking I'd have to wait the 20 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour that I was seeing over the airport. I was going to potentially either get a haircut or sit down and have a drink somewhere. No, it was there in like 4 or 5 minutes. So to avoid this scam, the taxis, everything like that, because you will get frustrated waiting for a Grab, even if you got the app, if you go to the hub and they're doing it for you. If they're constantly cancelling, you will get frustrated. And these guys are saying they've got a taxi ready for you. Go across. Just go across. There's a walkway. It will take you to a fairly sketchy looking area, but once you get past that, you'll see, if you saw in my other videos, like there's some really nice markets, street food, everything like that, and people are friendly as hell. So that's the first scam. Thought I had to go for a security. I just want to go to Macca's, bro. Look at all those taxis and everything over the other side just chilling. Yeah. I don't know if this is a scam, but I'm just going to go out and say it. This is not something that I had planned. It's only when I've watched the footage back when I'm editing it, this guy comes up to me randomly and says, because I'm just giving people fist bumps and being friendly and polite, and I'm definitely well too festive to be taking care of myself, but this person comes up to me and wants a hug. Is he a pickpocket? I don't know. It just seems super random, and I've got a bag that I wear, so nothing's in my pockets anyway, so it's almost impossible to rob me unless he just pulled a knife, cut the strap, things like that. But way too many people to do something like that. Little subtle dig in the pockets, maybe not. So just be careful when you're out there. First thing I need to do, probably get a trim, mate, to be honest. So I needed a haircut. I think I kind of need a trim now, to be honest, but I went to a local spot that I found in Binondo, which is like one of the oldest Chinatowns in the world. This is where I was staying, and I found one in this little back street, everything like this. A young kid at the front, very nice, greeted me, sat down straight away. I had this older dude, and like I was able to talk to him and, you know, get through to him what I wanted, I guess. He starts cutting, and one thing about Filipinos is they love singing. They will be singing, just walking randomly in the street, they'll start singing. They love singing. This guy's got love song dedications that are Filipino covers on in the background, and he's singing to them. I don't know if it's his covers, I don't know, but he's singing love songs in my ear while I'm trying to get this trim. I could not be taking it less seriously. And with a lot of this video, I am the only white person, right, within the vicinity. You've got a local mum with 2 kids waiting to get haircuts not long after I got there. You got a local dude already in another chair, local dudes in a barber's, local. It's all local in this area. This is not a prominent tourist area. This is in the middle of the hood. But he just stops, like, cutting and randomly starts massaging me on the shoulders. And I'm like, I don't really want that, but whatever. And I didn't have the camera with me. I had my phone in my pocket, but too hard to get that out. I wish I'd filmed some of this, but yeah. I paid 650 pesos, which was roughly around about $15 for a haircut, beard trim, and a creepy massage. I don't know. $5.50. It's like $14 Australian. And I stopped cutting my hair for a minute, and then just started giving me like a fucking massage. Super weird. And then like, alright, now we're finished with that, then started like cutting again. I think I got the foreigner treatment. There was a local in the chair who got a beard trim and a haircut. No creepy massage. I could have done without the creepy massage, but he paid $3.50. So I feel like I got the foreigner rinse, but at the same time, it was $15 total. So if I was to get a beard trim and haircut in Australia, it's about 50-60 bucks. So I wasn't too mad at this, but it's something to be noted. Maybe I've got to ask up front. I may literally just catch a grab to a money exchange in BGC, and I may book that place because, yeah, So when I went to BGC, I enjoyed myself. There was also something that was happening in the background that you'll find out about at the end of this video, but I had to switch up my accommodation, I felt like, to feel safe. So I switched up, I went to BGC, I was all excited, I found this really nice room, it was like a full apartment for, I want to say, 60 bucks a night, and I was stoked. When I got there, unfortunately, we're literally around the corner from all the shops I went to last night, so I already like know my way around. Like we passed the Popeyes and the Jollibees I tried to go do last night. No problem. The Mime Museum's just up here. That's where the Jollibees we actually did have. Hey, I'm a fucking local, mate. So this should be the Lux Residences. This is where we are now. Alright. Hopefully we can check in. So here's the thing. That Lux Apartments, I go there, go to the lobby, and they're so sorry, sir, we don't have booking.com. I said, what do you mean? It's a scam, sir. I said, it's a scam. They said, yes, you're the 4th person today to come here. It had no reviews, so that's my fault. I should have checked that. If it's too cheap, it's too good to be true. Essentially, they find photos, or they take photos, put them up in a certain area, and they just let the money come in. They've probably got them on a bunch of different platforms, everything like that. But when I went in there, I thought I'd filmed it all, but I didn't. I went to the desk and say, hey, I've got the booking from booking.com, which is what I generally say, even if it is a private booking. And they're like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't deal with booking.com. I said, what do you mean? They said, it's a scam, sir. I said, what do you mean? You are the 4th person that's been in today for this property. Can I see the photos of it? I said, yes, here's the photos. Yes, you are the 4th person to see this today. And then we got scammed on the first hotel in BGC. So I've instantly requested a cancel. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. On my part, I should have known to look for the reviews, make sure there's current reviews, make sure there's a lot of positive reviews, everything like that, before doing this type of thing. I generally do. I just think I was trying to get out of where I was at. But I gotta hope we get the refund on the other one. Worst case scenario, what I'm gonna do is get the refund through PayPal. It is what it is. I'm still trying to get a refund. I'd got a thing from booking.com saying I qualify for a fee-free refund, right? But then I've gone through all my accounts and I've never received a refund. I'm going to contest it with PayPal. I send all the information to PayPal and they rule in favor of booking.com. I send them step by step what had happened. I send them photos of all the messages and everything like this. It's still ongoing. Who knows if I ever get my money. For the most part, booking.com is what I use to book all my booking, and I just hope it's resolved. Now, what's funny is we're talking about scams and everything. I've now had a scam come through text saying I have a bill for... There's literally just like a Stanley knife here. Self-defense. Held with home security. Yeah, that I have a bill at a hospital. I've got a bloody knee. I don't know how I ended up with that. This was a weird little one, and similar, I had these type of texts in Thailand as well. I use an eSIM when I travel overseas. I use Nomad. I might leave a little link below if you want to use it yourself. You'll save a bit of money. They send me a little bit of money, save on my next eSIM, that type of stuff. But every now and again you get these scam texts. You get them over here too, like in Australia. But this one was like, you owe X amount to the hospital, everything like this. Now the problem with this was like, I had a really big night the night before and I had a skinned knee and I couldn't remember why. It's only when I've watched the footage back that I realised I was having a nice little wrestle in the street, as drunken louts usually do. But obviously, you get a scam text. They're very blatant. Don't touch them. Just delete and block the number. Alright, this is where we come. Travel the other side of the world. I've travelled the other side of the world to come here. Alright, let's go here. Now, you might remember from my first night in Manila, my second video from the Philippines, we went to a place called Ringside Bar. And I had an absolute ball, honestly did. When I first rocked up, they said to me, no cameras? Oh, you were here last night. And I said, no, I wasn't. I've literally only landed tonight. I've given them the information right there that I am a target. That was my first mistake. You should never say anything like that, because whether they're genuine or not, because multiple people at this venue said to me, you were here last night. Now, I don't know if Chris Pratt's getting around out there last night, but like, I'd obviously not been there last night. I feel like it's an easy way to vet, easy way to essentially work out who their targets are going to be. I said, I'm not going to go up there unless I can film. They said, you can film the fights, you can't film the girls. Which, to be fair, I didn't know this was like a lady bar. I just thought it was the midget boxing. I thought it was entertainment, like a WWE type thing. Anyway, we go up there and straight away this girl guides me to this big ass table. I said, no, it's just me. And they're like, yeah, sit here. And two girls straight away, each side of me. I'm like, all right, well, this is friendly. And what do you want to drink? Yep, beer. And then maybe about 2 beers in, they start asking for the lady beers. If you don't know about lady beers, you essentially buy them like a little shot. Most of the time it's just water, but this is how they make their money. They get a commission on that. You're overcharging for what a shot would usually be. The percentage of markup goes to the girl. That's how they make their money. I said to him, no thank you. I'm probably not going to buy any lady drinks. I said, I've got no problem, tipping when my beers come, and I rounded up most of the time and everything like that, but I have no interest in that. I just come to see the show. This goes down how it goes down. They're like, okay, and it's somewhat respectful. But like when they've sat down with me, in Thailand, if they sit down with you, if you don't buy them a drink, eventually they just go away, right? I'm assuming that there's a price for them to sit with you. We'll get to how I think that in the end. But we had a lot of fun, had a few drinks, everything like that. And there was a woman come up to me, try and give me a massage. I said, no. And, no, initially I think they did. She just rubbed my shoulders for a little bit. I'm going, oh, that's nice, thank you. And that was it, right? Then there was points where the girl that's serving me, not the 2 girls sitting next to me, she's asking for a drink. And I'm like, no, you've been getting like a tip every time I round up. Like, no. And it just became more and more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but more frequent in terms of what they were trying to do. At one point there, she comes up, okay, we get a drink for her. And this other girl just randomly sits at the end. It's like a semicircle type chair. She just sits on like the end of the chair and pretends she's been there the entire time and said, yep, drink for her. And I'm like, drink for her? She just sat down. Like, what do you mean? I said, no, I'm not buying any drinks. Fast forward, we've seen a few shows, everything like that. And I was going to leave early. And then they said the girls were going to box. And I'm like, oh, come on, this is going to be hilarious. At one point, I started coaching them. Now, there's some footage here somewhere while I'm at the bar. This girl comes up to me like this. I'm like, yeah, one for me. And she's like, give me a sad face and everything. That's the girl that's essentially been bringing me my drinks the entire time. At one point there, I looked at my cash and I said, oh, I don't have any more cash. Do you take card? They've said, yes. No worries. You got to come to the bar. And I've had that. I'm like, all right, I've had enough. I've seen 3 shows. I better go out and see the rest of Makati. And they've brought me a tab. And I'm like, what? What do you mean a tab? And they're like, it was like 5,000 pesos or something. Like, they made me buy the midgets a shot each, which the price was astronomical. And I had cash there. I paid with the cash for that too. There's like a video of me shaking the cash as I give it to them. At one point I said, nah, that's ridiculous for this many shots. Like, I worked out the price of it. It was like over $100 for a shot, 7 shots. It's insane. I said, no, I'll buy 3 shots. And they're like, oh, you got to pick the 3. And I'm like, oh, don't make me choose. We worked out. I paid the price just then and there. Yeah, as I'm going to leave, they're saying you owe $5,000. It ended up being like $100+. I'm like, what do you mean? No, I paid cash for everything. They're like, oh no, she gave you a massage, lady drinks for these 2 that have been with you all night. I said yes, but like, I said no to everything multiple times. I said no. Even when they sat with me, I said, it's okay, I just want to watch the show. And for the most part, I kept walking up away from that to stand and watch the show. Now, with the shots for the dwarfs, the little people, like, I had no issues shouting them. They're working hard, they're putting on a show. That's what I came here to see. But the girls, like, they were nice. They, you know, were hanging out and everything. But, like, I had no intention to buy lady drinks. So I've got this bill. It's about $100 something. I'm like, okay, no worries. I'm just going to go to the toilet. I go to the toilet. And as I come out of the toilet, I try to leave. As I try to leave, the big dude that had met me out the front, that first said, you were here last night, you can't film everything like this. Probably the biggest Filipino dude I've seen when I was over there. He steps in front of me, like, we've got to go downstairs, everything like that. He's in front of me, won't let me leave. Said, you owe money. I said, no, I paid everything in cash. I paid for them at the time. Oh, you for this. I said, no, that never happened. It was basically laid out to me as if you try and leave, you will be physically harmed. Do I feel like I could get through this? Potentially. But if police get involved, who are they going to believe? The intoxicated white person or the guy that owns a business in Manila? There's going to be a language barrier that he can win, everything like this. So I'm like, all right, come up with another idea. I'm going to pay for it via card, but I'm going to write scam underneath my signature. And then I'm going to get the charge back. I called up my bank when I got home to try and get the charge back. I don't know if they misinterpreted what I was saying. They understood the conversation, everything like this. But he sent me something as if I'd bought something online and never received it. So I think I'm going to have to go to Visa directly and see what they can do. But if I don't get the $100 back, it is what it is. Chalk it up to the game. For you out there, if you're going to go to the Ringside Bar, do your best. Try and pay for your drinks with cash at the time. But even then, like, you're not potentially safe.
Wrestling match, you will tap the mat 3 times to make it official, right?
The wild part, when I was looking into this place afterwards, I went to the reviews, and the reviews were not great. I saw some reviews where they said that, you know, they were beating the shit out of each other and they felt bad for them. Other people said there was no show. Other people were told they had to buy more drinks for the show to start and things like this. There is a thing you can do where you can pay to be like the referee in the show, but like they don't really outlay what the cost is, and then after you've done it, you've got to pay this exorbitant amount. There was other people that have mentioned that they got their tab at the end of the night, and it was well more than what mine was, right? So this place is prominently a scam. The issue I have with it, right? It has such like a fun, unique vibe and gimmick already. It doesn't need to scam people. You know what I mean? I would have gone there again the next night had I not been scammed. I would have told everyone on this video and all these videos to go to this place had I not been scammed. You're only killing yourself. So it is what it is. Watch out for the ringside boxing scam. There's another scam too. Girl was like, oh, I'll come to you, yeah, I need to catch a bus, because she was from a province. I'm like, alright. She's like, I'll spend a couple of days with you. I'm like, oh, why not? And then she goes, but I have no money to travel, you gotta send me money. And I'm like, nah. The kids tried to warn me, and now I'm getting scammed left, right and centre. This is one I forgot about, another Tinder type scam. I matched with this girl, beautiful young girl. She said, yeah, I'll come hang out. I'll spend a few days with you in your hotel. She's like, you know, we can do whatever. I can show you around. Because, like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a local girl to show me around Manila, show me the local spots, all this type of stuff. Said, yeah, I can do that. But I live in a province. I wouldn't mind checking out a province, to be fair. Then I looked up Grab from where she was to where I was. And Grab didn't operate there. I said, oh, Grab doesn't operate over there. She said, no, you've got to catch a bus, then you've got to catch this, then a Grab from when you get to here. I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, it'll cost like around this much. I'm like, oh, okay, well, how long will you be? She's like, should I come? And I'm like, yeah, come through. we'll spend a few days together, whatever. He's like, oh, but I've got no money, so you'll have to send the money for the travel. Like, no, that's not happening. I said to her, look, I have no problem if you're showing me around, like me paying for dinner, paying for everything, like while we're doing everything, but like, I'm not just gonna blindly send you money. Like, that makes no sense. Then I was looking in potentially like hiring a car, going down there, like I was looking at all different types of things, but then I was just like, nah. And then I remembered what the young kid said to me my first night in the Philippines.
Okay, thank you, boys.
Stay safe. Don't use
They said be safe, don't get scammed in the Philippines. Wow.
Really nice kids. Really nice kids. The majority of the Philippines was super nice and super friendly. I enjoyed the majority of my time. It was just a brief moment in time where I thought I was gonna get. So this is weird. I edited this video. It was like an hour or just under an hour long, and it had all the scams that you see up until now, plus one pretty crazy situation that I dealt with when I was in the Philippines. Because of the subject matter, because there's like video of me like raw as it's happening, swearing a lot, I don't know, YouTube didn't like it. I tried editing it a couple of different ways, it didn't work, so I'm just taking that whole section out. And if you want to see that section, I'll put it on the Patreon. I made it just for the, you know, who knows. I've been putting stuff on there and everything, like across everything that I do, but I haven't really promoted it. I just put it in the description. If people want to do their thing, they can, but this is the first time where I'm properly mentioning it. If you want to subscribe, you can. I've put this behind a paywall because I don't want just anyone getting access to it either, and then like trying to report me, trying to whatever, so I don't know. Back to the video, the shortened version, I guess.
That's how me got confused when I'm like, where's the mall? And it's literally around the corner. Whatever. I think based on being a little bit hungover, being pissed off from what happened, like it's just putting a fucking sour taste in my mouth.
I've got to say at the end of this too, like, this is such a small percent of the Philippines. Everyone else that I met was friendly, happy, welcoming, everything like this. I had so much fun. It's always the vocal minority that end up ruining things. So don't get me wrong, like, these type of things are worldwide. But these are the ones specifically I found and came across when I was in the Philippines. And I don't like doing negative videos. I don't like putting shit on a place that I go to, and I hope I'm not doing this. Like, I hope that it comes through that it's specifically about these exact people, these exact things, rather than the place. Because let's be honest, like, in terms of Manila, I didn't even see all of Manila, and that's only one place within the Philippines. So I'll definitely be back, but I'll be a lot more wary about scams.